Joining me now from the offices of Saturday Night Live is Mike Meyers. How you doing?
How's it going?
It's going okay. Tell me about Wayne's World. I mean, obviously, it's your own past in a lot of ways. Why don't you tell me how it came about?
So, I try to keep things pretty objective on here for the most part, but Wayne's World
Garth,
has gotta be
that was a haiku.
one of the funniest,
Cool.
most lovable,
Aliens have kidnapped Wayne?
most quotable movies
Oh, I misunderstood. Wayne's outside.
I've ever seen.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
I will never forget being in that tiny little screening room in the Paramount lot. It was an audience test screening, a very rough cut of Wayne's World, and that place went ballistic.
That's it, I'm out of here. And I'm taking my show with me.
We own the show.
Ah, bite me.
The movie was an international hit.
Okay.
The second, and still to this day, highest grossing film ever based on a Saturday Night Live sketch.
It's such a cool word, like, hey, Wayne, there's a party tonight.
Cool.
But the origins of Mike Meyers' Wayne Campbell,
Guys and Wayne,
well, they date back
we're actually
a lot further than that.
on the way.
I grew up in the suburbs of Toronto, and it was, just basically the group of people I hung out with who, we used to just take the red racket into town and sort of an adolescent suburbia heavy metal thing.
As a kid, Myers was already doing the Wayne character at parties, but it was in 1986 that he would debut its protoform on a Second City improv stage in Toronto.
This is incredibly bogus, right? This is unreal. That we have partied together so many times.
Even in early stages, this skit was already showing off signature Wayne's World staples we'd see much later on,
Do you remember when we first met 3 C&Es ago?
like Wayne's vocabulary,
I thought I was a pretty excellent dude, did you not?
Excellent.
use of the song Dreamweaver,
Dreamweaver.
mentioning of Aerosmith,
At that time at the Aerosmith concert, right?
Aerosmith is sitting where I eat my nut and honey every day.
and even the fake tears gag used in the movie half a decade later.
I love you, man! Look at these tears!
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Chris, how are you, man? Excellent.
Throughout that same year, Myers would also bring the character on as a regular to the Canadian variety program City Limits,
These guys are bogus. We are excellent.
a distinctly more Canadian Wayne than it would get on SNL. He would here introduce the character's love of road hockey,
I used to play road hockey with that guy.
Game on!
Game on.
messing with technical equipment,
Well, that's,
Look at this thing, man.
yeah. Oh, no, Mike.
Wow, man, excellent.
talking directly at camera,
Deborah, Karen, Marilyn, you're all there.
I have an extensive collection of name tags and hairnets.
even the Wayne's World signature riff was invented on this show.
I want to know how to go.
Well, that's like a pull off, like where you hit the note and you pull it off.
He needs all the help he can get, really, Father.
But the character of Wayne Campbell would really come into its own in August of 1987 on a CBC television program called It's Only Rock and Roll.
Now, I think a lot of the world's problems could be solved if we had one huge, major, humongous blowout. I mean, if we just go for it, you know what I mean? This is Wayne's Power Minute. All right! So here's my show.
Myers won airtime for his segment through a contest by offering up a 1-minute showcase to the network of his character discussing the spelling of rock and roll band names.
Let's go to Led Zeppelin. Zepp, right? There's an A in Led Zeppelin, right? Unless they were thinking like Led Zeppelin as in coerce Zeppelin. I don't know. I'm not Led Zeppelin.
More of his catchphrases would also surface here.
Party hardy! Party hardy! Woo! Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, as if we wouldn't notice.
Maybe most substantially, though, he'd finally don his trademark black hat and shirt, ditching the flannel that would eventually go to Garth, bringing us full swing to the days of SNL.
The Oscar pick goes to, all right, Joe Pesci, Goodfellas.
Pesci, what a great name!
The Wayne's World we know would officially begin in 1989 with the classic intro and iconic salutations.
It's Friday, it's 10:30, it's time to party. I'm your excellent host, Wayne Campbell. With me as always is Garth.
Party on, Wayne!
Party on, Garth.
9 original sketches starring Myers and Dana Carvey in their fictional basement in the suburbs of Aurora, Illinois, discussing all manner of global affairs
Excuse me? A baking powder?
and pop culture.
The first movie is Back to the Future 2, starring Michael J. Fox. I liked it, Garth.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Okay, let's move on.
It was here that the full foundation for the first Wayne's World film was built.
I just wanted to grab his big head and go,
From catchphrases
I kind of liked it. Not. Nice name. Not.
to more catchphrases
no way.
Way? No way.
Way.
to even more catchphrases.
I'm not worthy!
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
To the extreme close-up,
Extreme close-up!
to the sponsorship ad plug gag,
Best new fragrance. Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds. Elusive, mysterious. The fragrance dreams are made of.
Here, take 2 of these.
Ah, new print. Little. Yellow. Different.
and what didn't make its way into Wayne's World the movie
Okay, and then he took the escalator.
would later find their way into other Mike Meyers projects.
Why take the stairs when I could take the escalator?
Well, I told them that Wayne's World was good for promoting their upcoming gig at the Aurora Civic Center, and they went for it.
Okay, all right, now...
I'd argue the most significant bit Myers and Carvey did, though, on SNL was bringing Aerosmith onto the show as guests. Not just they were on, but specifically the gag where the band is like super plugged into social history and global politics.
No, I disagree, man. There's never been a blueprint for the dictatorship of the proletariat, so there's bound to be mistakes.
They were going to bring Aerosmith back for the movie, and eventually they would for the sequel, but ultimately brought Alice Cooper on instead. Someone director Penelope Spheris had worked with briefly on her documentary The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2.
Nice to meet you guys.
Cooper's a real trooper, though, so when they handed him 5 pages of monologue to do 20 minutes before they shot, with a bit of riffing, he totally nailed it.
The French missionaries and explorers were coming here as early as the late 1600s to trade with the Native Americans.
In fact, isn't Milwaukee an Indian name?
Yes, Pete, it is.
A bit more naturally, perhaps, than Hamilton and Tyler did.
Socialism has been an historical inevitability, dude.
But hey, it was live.
1, 2, 3.
But while they didn't bring Aerosmith back for the first movie, they did bring Ed O'Neill back.
In many ways, a car is a pulverizing death monster with a glass and steel persona.
As the donut shop manager Glenn.
I'd like to find the guy that did it. Rip his still beating heart out of his chest and hold it in front of his face.
Ed O'Neill was also the star of Married with Children at the time, which immediately after Wayne's World came out, would do this scene in the episode Old Insurance Dodge.
Pardon me. Have you any Grey Poupon?
Which was based on this scene from the film.
Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon?
Which in turn was based on a real Grey Poupon commercial from the 80s.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?
Okay,
There you go.
all right.
We got
That's not enough.
We got this movie.
What Wayne's World the movie did, though, was bring these characters out of the basement
Why don't you use a gun?
and into the real world.
I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack?
And that was a big deal in the evolution of the Wayne character, figuring out the 3-dimensionality of everything, how these guys move around, where they hang out, what they drive, how they walk. And they shot it fast, 34 days in the summer of 1991, in the short window between SNL seasons. But it worked because these characters were already so well developed. On Carvey's end too, basing a lot of Garth on his brother Brad.
Brad used to fix the dryer around our house with a butter knife. He was the kid who was mechanical, and we'd say, Brad, you fixed the dryer and you're only 10 years old. And he'd say, yeah, this is a quote, yeah, I fixed the dryer with a butter knife. It'll never break down again.
Penelope Spheris said something really great once. She said, I believe by 3 minutes into Wayne's World, it's imperative that you have a sense of where it's going. She said, I wanted people to know by that point that this movie is going to be a ton of fun. And watching it, for lack of a more poetic way of putting it, is going to make your life better.
And we're clear.
I'm Danny Boyd. Thanks for watching.
See you guys later, eh?
Okay.
You guys are nice guys.
Yeah,
I had a great time, man.
Okay, thanks, Wayne.